Picking up from last week in San Diego, I flew back home to Florida.
Slate.
This week, I'm going to be doing a job on a white psych and going to New York to host a filmmaker meetup. Yeah. And I get to check out the Chase Sapphire Lounge at the LaGuardia Airport.
Cognitive enhancement gun that had.
This is one of those nice, fun, easy corporate days that I really enjoy doing. Typically, I'm a one-man band, but now I was about to say girlfriend, now my wife, who is usually the producer, she comes and helps me out as a PA sometimes, and it really makes the job easier. So I'm using an HDMI out into a $99 Elgato Cam Link, which is an upsell for this client who is overseas, so that they can hear and see the feed. So we have a traditional wide and tight using my 24-70 and using the waveforms built into the FX6 to make sure that the white background is where they want it. They actually gave me a reference. They said, we want this to look like a Wired interview. And that was very helpful to know exactly the style that they're going for. I always appreciate it when a client gives me a reference. In full transparency, I've never done a white psych by myself. I knew I was going to be able to get good enough results, but it was definitely an experiment. So my idea was 2 300-watt fixtures with softboxes on the background, and then the same thing, 2 300-watt fixtures on the front, on the characters, and I got even lighting, even spread on the white psych, and was very happy with how it came out. And then matching images, because using both Sony cameras, same log curve. That green backdrop, I should have taken it out. I didn't see a green tint, but I'm sure there is. And then using the Sackler to float between characters as they talk, since it's conversational style. I got sandbagged by my Sony UWP wireless audio transmitter. So you can see here, W2, that's the second transmitter. It's got full battery. I don't actually think it was the transmitter. I think it was the rechargeables, AA's that I had in there. They were full, and then they just dropped out in the middle of the interview, and I didn't want to stop it. So I'm really glad that I had my shotgun mic overhead as secondary audio. A lot of this gear came from Adam. I like that I don't have to have a bunch of gear. I don't have to have a grip van. I do have my larger RAV4 now instead of my BRZ, but these lights, they all came from him and a couple other items. So the 70-200 lens, which is an f4, tiny, small little thing, and I was able to load everything in on my cart. I hate this cart and I love this cart. If you have a big production cart, you know what I mean. Last hour of the day, we're going to the hotel where the conference is, and I told the client, yes, we can do an hour of filming here, but just to let you know, to relocate from the studio to this hotel could take an hour and a half, even though it's only 20 minutes away on Google Maps. And I have to reiterate that to them because on the schedule, it just looks like wrap at this time, get to the next location at this time. But in reality, we all know I have to break everything down, put it in its case, kind of half set up the gimbal and everything so that once I get there, I can just pick up and go. Parking, walking across these massive hotels, like it is a lot, and the minutes just slip away. So I made that known, and it did. It took an hour and a half. Of course, it was raining. That delayed everything a little bit more. And now we're just grabbing a couple of social cuts, direct to camera with the DJI mic, very easy stuff. I know they're glad they could get it, but it's just the logistics sometimes. If people don't work in production, they really don't understand how time just slips through your fingers. This is what Floridians wait all year for, a perfect hurricane swell. Man, I love Florida. I love that I have buddies that I can go surf with when the swell comes in. However, I also love traveling. And I mean, I love traveling. I love going to different places. And next is New York. I always wondered when I would be in these lounges, like, what are these people working on when they're on their laptops? And for me right now, I'm working on setting up the next meetup, which is in Atlanta, right before I'm doing this one in New York. And it's like this kind of constant revolving bit of work and energy, and it's very fun. I'm very happy that I have something that I can sink my teeth into. So as soon as I land in New York, I get picked up, chauffeured by the one and only John Waldman. He's the one who made this happen. He's the one who saw me do my meetups in other cities and said, hey, you should do it here. Let me help you. And you don't know how much I appreciate that. I also appreciate this bacon, egg, and cheese. And then he took me back to his spot. We looked at some of his projects, and it's just nice to have people who are wanting to help rather than wanting to take. And man, did he help. So he helped me line up the studio that we're going to go to. He had an in with them. He even had a couple people that he said that you'd be good to invite these. And I got to go to the Brooklyn Banks. If you don't know skateboarding, this is a very, very historic spot that's been around since, I believe, the 80s. And I've always wanted to skate it. We got some clips of each other. And I'm just so happy that I could get some skate clips on a work trip, even though this is a work trip that I'm paying for and not getting paid for it. John offered to pick up the beverages, which was very nice of him, and then we had an amazing meetup. So through my Eventbrite link, I brought in 30 people, and I capped it at that to respect the space. I knew it was going to be a full house. I knew it was going to sell out. It always does, but I still don't know who everybody is. And it's always interesting to me when I ask people, oh, did you find out about me, or did you find out about this through John? And they said, no, I actually was just looking for networking groups on Eventbrite. And that gives me a lot of confidence to know that the way I'm describing it on Eventbrite is enough to make someone be curious and join. And this studio was new to a lot of people. So ASL Productions hosted us. Big shout out to them. And we got to see all the different spaces they have, podcast scenarios. They also have a white psych. And it seems like they're booked a lot. They are doing a temporary set for Hot Ones here. And I got to meet a bunch of people, got to hear about the services they offer here. And the purpose of the meetup is to meet with people and establish some trust, because I can meet people all day, but if I don't trust them, then I'm not going to call on them. I'm not going to ask for their recommendation. And that is exactly what happened here. So if you weren't able to make it to this one, I'm going to be holding the next one this week on Thursday in Atlanta. It's supposed to be a classy lounge. It's not always good to focus on the details, but last night was exhausting. I was very tired and I wanted a late checkout. So my credit card automatically gives me Marriott Gold Elite, and I got a late checkout for free, 2 p.m. It's not a big deal, but it really makes traveling easier. And now I have a nice, smooth morning and I can go find a cafe. So speaking about credit cards, which is something I talk about all the time, I'm seeing a lot of ads for the Chase Business Reserve. Now, I have the American Express Platinum, the personal one, and I love it. It's great. It has a ton of perks. I like the lounges, except when little kids go in there and cry. But at LaGuardia, they just opened the flagship Chase Sapphire Lounge, and I'm very interested to see that. So with my American Express Platinum, it gives me priority pass, which gives me one complimentary visit to a Chase lounge per year. And since I'm thinking of switching, LaGuardia is their flagship lounge. This is the perfect place for me to taste test and see if this is a credit card that I want to switch to. So I didn't even get to see the whole thing. Apparently there's an arcade with a PS5, and they had a bunch of call rooms, meeting rooms, kids rooms, like very, very nice. And you can order food. So in case you guys don't know, this is a way where you can just have, you don't have to talk to any waiters. You can order what you want. They come over and bring it to you. I decided to get some noodle dish and a very interesting sounding cocktail that had like bee pollen in it. Something I wouldn't normally get, but why not? Everything in here is free. You're allowed to tip. And it's just an experience that allows me to kind of calm down, chill, and be in a relaxed state when I'm in a crazy space such as the airport. My home base airport is Orlando, MCL. So we don't have a Centurion or a Chase Lounge. I would like one, but we don't have one.
You know what?
Huge thank you to every single person who came out. The Instagram chat has been established, so the networking will continue on after this night. I was so surprised at how many people made an effort. We even had one guy who flew in from Miami, so that's enough right there to know that I need to hold one in Miami. And then, of course, biggest thank you to John. Check his channel out. He is a freelance DP. He's making vlogs. He's showing his journey. And that's all I'm doing too, is I'm just showing my perspective. I'll see you guys in Atlanta.